Hey there YouTubers, this is the Waycoolwaya, and today I'm going to be showing you a video of me beating 3 brutal AIs on Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. You'll notice each one is on the same team, each one is Nod, each one is brutal, and each one is a rusher. I hope next time to do something with Scrin, because I feel a Nod's a little bit easy, but I haven't seen many 1v3 brutal AI videos out on YouTube, so I figured I would make one. This is the first time I've ever done this, by the way. I've taken on 2 Steamroller Brutals that have been on the same team. However, I've not taken on 3 brutal AIs of any kind. And I tried maybe like, I don't know, like 7 times this day and failed, you know, each time. And later on that night at maybe 1 o'clock, I had decided to do another one. And here's the result of that game. So you'll notice my strategy is basically to turtle as much as possible to a point of where you have a sufficient enough defense. Sorry, my controller keeps disconnecting, it's broken. And then after you turtle, hit them hard, target any important buildings like war factories or anything that can build an MCV, and MCVs themselves, and cranes. I think you notice I targeted nuke, luckily, or well, later on in the game, we'll get to that later. So here's the first initial attack, consisting of Scorpion tanks and Rocketeers from all 3 of the factions, I believe. And before this game, I never used actual units to defend with my turrets. It is definitely a smarter idea. I would highly recommend getting maybe like 15 rocket squads and like 10 Scorpions in there. And later on we start getting some infantry where I'll build things like Raider buggies. All of the tier 1 units for Nod are really great to hold off attacks. They're not great for attacking, but they are pretty good for defense. I would highly recommend them. And the other ones are just expensive. You know, they don't do much. So I'm starting to they're starting to tech up, and I'm getting Venoms at my base, so I'm going to start getting some anti-air, upgrading my power. And I can assure you that at no point in time did I pause this recording and change the difficulty of the AI. That would be pretty hard. And I think that you'll probably be able to tell that this is a real AI based off of their constant attacks. So I just got my tech lab up, and I'm starting to get hit by flame tanks and Black Hand, which are very deadly to defenses. So I got some anti-infantry, and I got some obelisks of light to take out the flame tanks. And I think vertigo bombers are going to start coming into play, which are all really annoying. Luckily, the AI did not use that Tiberium Vein detonation cheat where he can use it wherever he wants. That's really annoying. But these 3 cut me some slack and decided to play a relatively fair game. And I say relatively because they already have faster build queues and more money, so... So I'm starting to get my Redeemer up, and that's going to be one of my main offenses. You don't really need any units that isn't a Redeemer when it comes to taking on something like a Rusher. They don't really build much defense or anything. Just build a Redeemer, cloak it up with the cloaking field, and get some Black Hand squads in there for flamethrower and structure damage. You'll notice all 3 of them got their nukes up almost simultaneously, which says something about the AIs in this game. And once I get my Redeemer up, I'm going to head out and try and take out those nukes. I'm going to start getting some vertigo bombers up to hit them. So here's some vertigo bombers from the enemy. It's not the first, but there's a couple. Oh, and there's a commando. The AIs tend to do that a lot. They tend to spam a lot of commandos. It's just a big waste of money, and that's why AIs stop building after so long in the game. So at this point, I've got my Redeemer out, and I don't have enough money for a cloaking field, so I'll get that up. Here we go. And this is where the AI techs up to the point of where he's going to be using avatars and beam cannons, to be specific, which can get quite annoying. Now, I always say that the AI is at a desperate point when he starts using fanatics like he was just there. So I'm not sure what this AI was doing when he was using fanatics, but unfortunately my Redeemer got raged here, and I didn't have any choice to, other than to get him killed. So that attempt to take out his nuke was not successful. And I think my Rocketeers really help out against those Vertigo bombers too. And the flame tanks and whatnot, because the flame tanks target the turrets. So, again, Rocketeers come into play, and they are very useful. So I have another Redeemer up, and I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm not going to get raged this time. And just for anybody who wants to know, this video was originally an hour and 49 minutes long. I sped it up 5 times using Pinnacle Studios. It's great editing software. It tends to crash on you a lot, but... well, it tends to crash on me a lot. I don't know about you guys. So I'm saving here, and the reason for that is because there was a thunderstorm outside my house, and I would not willingly lose power or this game because I was doing so well, and I really wanted to finish it. So here I just took out his nuke. And luckily for me, the other AIs decided, he's doing something, and didn't nuke me. Very, very much appreciated, because I would not have been able to survive that. So saving again, just because I'm not going to die to a lightning strike hitting my house or the town power supply or whatever. So when I was inside his base, you'll notice that I target main structures that build MCVs or are MCVs, and I come back to my base and my defense is pretty much gone, which worried me a lot. I figured that could be a major turning point in the game if I didn't get it back up fast. So I start getting some more obelisks and the Redeemer. Hopefully he'll be able to help me defend. But luckily, since I just practically reset one of the AIs, it's not too big of a deal. So here we go, some more avatars and Vertigo bombers showing that the AIs have teched up. And my defense is barely holding off. But here comes my Redeemer, he can help me. I think I'm going to send him in to take out the yellow faction, and then after you take out one of the factions, the AIs tend to slow it down a little bit more than their buddies. I don't know exactly why, but I noticed a small break after I took him out. So that's why you take out the major structures and the building structures, because as you see, I took out his MCV in the last attack, and then I go back and there's an MCV right in front of his war factory, or well, his Redeemer facility. So that's what the AIs will do. They will try and build those as fast as possible. So if you're going to take out an MCV, make sure you take out the war factories too. Otherwise, it's pretty much useless. So I was really worried about these Venoms here, but I had just beaten the AI right there, and all the Venoms exploded. Luckily for me. So I'm saving, and my controller's disconnected. And my controller disconnects, I'm not sure if I already said, but because there's a little broken piece on the part that holds the battery pack in, and I need to tape it up. So it's like a ghetto controller. So now I notice when I'm gone that my defense took an even harder hit, and it's only got one obelisk standing and barely any other nod turrets. So I'm sending my Redeemer in to get max rank. Well, he's already max rank. He's gonna run them all over and defend while I get my defense up. The Redeemer is really the only unit you need. I mean, minus the 15 rocket squads, Raider buggies, and the Scorpions to defend yourself in the beginning. the Redeemer is one of the few units that you're pretty much required to have. I mean, you could probably take on the AIs with some smaller units, but I don't know. I'm thinking I want to take on these some AIs with just Awakened in the future, because they work really well against structures, I recently learned, and they also have that EMP ability, so most units aren't going to be too big of a problem. I would have to worry about commandos, though. Alright, so again, I saw another lightning strike and scared myself, saved. And I think this is where I start to assault the other AI. It's looking like it. So again, I take out the war factories, because they're in the front, just the first buildings I saw. Then I go straight for the MCV, and then I think I hit the tech center. Then I go for the nuke, just in case. And then I take out his other war factory that I missed. And that should pretty much finish the AI off. Even if I lost my Redeemer, I would just send something. I could send a couple stealth tanks in and take that out. So just to be safe, we save one more time. And then we begin the march to the final assault on the pink character. And I think I've already taken out the AIs that were causing the most damage to me. Pink's obviously the furthest away from my base and hasn't done that much. But, I mean, he's hit me. So I take out his nuke first, just in case. Then I go for all of his build queues and, you know, other important structures that I've listed in the past. And then I think we're going to go slow-mo up in the end, where I take out his final structure. And then you're going to hear that amazing, "You are victorious," because I'm victorious. Here you go, just as I predicted. Though I've watched this video 600 times while editing it. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to go back to the main menu and show you guys that I didn't change the difficulties or anything. I appreciate all of you watching, and thank you for EA creating the game. It's such a great strategy game, and I play it quite often. Not many people seem to play it, though. If you have any tips or anything that you might want to send me, I'm alright with that. I'm pretty good with constructive criticism. And as you see, same exact as it was in the game. So this is the Waycoolwaya. Thanks for watching.